Hello Internet, my name is Vic. It's your boy. I'm back with a update. So I was watching my old XY Chronicles back, the 1 month on testosterone update video.
Hello Internet, my name is Vic, and I have officially been on testosterone for 1 month and 1 day.
I could talk about some points that I make in that video or some things that I discuss in that video that are different now or that I view different now or that have changed. Since I haven't really done a full testosterone update video in a while, I figured that would be the best place to start. So I'm going to do that. My anniversary of coming out as trans was March 2015. It's March 2020, so I've officially been out as trans for 5 years.
I can't tell you how many 1 month videos I've watched. I can't tell you how many 1 week on testosterone videos I've watched just to compare. And I know, you shouldn't compare your journey with other people, but that's what I did. I am very eager and I'm very impatient when it comes to changes that have been happening or haven't been happening.
Don't do that. Don't compare. Don't do it. It's good to connect with other trans men, not just trans men, but other trans folks. It's good to connect with them and share experiences because we can understand in a way that, someone who identifies as cis wouldn't be able to understand. If you're going to put yourself in a very dysphoric mind state, if you keep trying to, compare, because everyone's different. No two transitions are exactly alike, and I think that's what makes it beautiful. And I think that's why it sucks when people invalidate trans folks, because everyone changes. Everyone goes through puberty. Everyone goes through, developmental process. Everyone's perspective changes throughout life. So why is it that trans people are so looked down on when it comes to changing? Just food for thought.
I want to talk about my physical changes and what they are or have been. Just for reference, there may be other trans guys out there who want to see what my personal physical changes are, and then, further down the line, I can look back at this video and see what's different.
I've learned that these updates are good for cis people in my life as well. However, access to this information can be harmful, so be mindful of who has access to it and how they use it. I'm very public about being trans, clearly. I have videos on YouTube, I share experiences, I talk about things, because I always want to be someone that people can go to if they're scared to ask the questions themselves. That's not to say that I have all the answers and I'm not a licensed medical professional, but I do have personal experience with these things. I feel like if I put my experiences out there for others to see, it can help somebody. That's all I really want to do.
Right now, it's pretty easy to keep track of the days, but I know, further along in my transition, it's going to be harder to know, okay, how long have I been on testosterone now?
I don't have a problem with knowing how long I've been on T. I just struggle with keeping up with shots. Oof. I always know how many months I'm on T, because I do my monthly voice updates. I always do those. I have got that down to a science. However, I be missing shots sometimes, or I'll forget, and I'm like, oh, oops, I was definitely supposed to inject that in my body this week, and I didn't. But as you can see, I'm fine. Well, as fine as I can be.
There's also voice pitch analyzer, which I've been using, where you record a snippet of a novel or something, or you can just say whatever you want and you record it.
The vocal progression app is pretty cool to see as you go. I don't really use it as much anymore. I mean, I think I did it 2 months ago just to kind of see, and obviously it's male now, clearly. But it's still cool to see where you're at and how far you've come. And my voice literally has done this number, it's not a straight line. So, that's unrealistic to expect that anyways. It's also unrealistic to just think that maybe, possibly you can keep your high range when you sing, because mine's gone. My voice just stops coming out of my mouth. I don't I don't know if anybody else had this problem, but I definitely cannot hit notes like I used to be able to. I had to find my lower range when I sing.
Every day before I get in a shower, I will overanalyze and examine myself because I just want to see something, you know what I mean?
Doing what I used to do can cause you to obsess over changes. You can miss out on a lot in life if you make your medical transition the only thing about you. You are so much more than being trans. That's not the only thing about you. So don't let that be the only thing about you. Don't lose yourself in it. It's okay to talk about it. It's okay to, share experiences and whatnot. But don't let it consume your whole everything.
I've always wanted to pass as male.
Passing is irrelevant at this point. Passing is based on society's structure of what is normal. Okay? Nothing is normal. Nothing. Be who you are with no filters. If someone doesn't like it, that's their problem, not yours. They don't have to be in your life. But don't change who you are for somebody else. I've done it. I've used to do it. I still struggle with not doing it. But I catch myself and I'm like, no. That's the Libra in me trying to come out, trying to please everybody. I don't have to. Like, if something is hurting you mentally, don't stay. Do not stay. Take it from me. Don't stay in that shit. Get the fuck out of that. And if you don't, you're going to be digging yourself deeper and deeper and deeper, and it's just going to be harder and harder and harder to get out of it. Today's the day. Today is the day. You have people that will support you and back you, but today is the day. Get out of it. If that was the message you needed to hear, if that was the person you needed to hear, if that was the thing you needed to hear, get out of that abusive-ass relationship, whatever kind it is. Get out. You're better than that.
I get misgendered a lot. I don't know why.
Watching these back, I know exactly why. Most misgendering I was experiencing was when I came out in March of 2015, like I just said, all the way up to January 2018. And when people heard my little Vic voice, okay, you can hear it in these videos, sometimes they were unsure. I even get shocked sometimes when I watch old videos back of myself. What the fuck? Like, my voice is so high. I don't remember sounding like that. I really don't. Like, it's wild because I hear myself every day. Like, I'm used to my voice, There's some days where I'm like, yeah, my voice sounds deep. But typically, I'm just used to it by now.
I don't see anything feminine about myself. If you know me, my personality isn't really feminine. The way I carry myself isn't really feminine.
My body shape was a dead giveaway as well. I had an hourglass figure. My fat has since redistributed. It gives me bulk on my sides and a little gut. But I would wear hoodies or jackets all the time to try and bulk up my frame to make me look more solidified.
Once I get more of the facial hair going on, I think I'll pass more and I'll become more okay, I'm good.
I wasn't wrong about the facial hair at all. I feel like now I get at least, you look so young. How old are you, man? Versus, yes, ma'am, I want a barbecue sandwich with extra coleslaw with a spoon because I'm going to eat it while I'm driving. I don't get ma'am as much as I get sir, dude, bro, brother. I get all those, but I don't even get ma'am.
You want to talk about being misgendered every single day by every single customer in a row? And I struggle with correcting people. I struggle really hard with that because it's the confidence I lack. And I know I'm a man. I know, but it's just the confidence.
Testosterone has given me all the confidence in the world. In the world. More than any exes, friends, family, coworkers, etc. And that's on trauma.
There was that wishful thinking in the back of my head. I was like, maybe my voice is going to just substantially just drop and that'll be it. Because I think that's the one thing that most people misgender me for is my voice. It's not that high, but then again, it's not really, really low.
It wasn't even about the high or the low for the voice. It's all about the bass. No treble. I can feel that shit in my chest when I speak now. versus before it wasn't in my chest. It was really like airy. I can kind of go high now, but this is me making my voice airy, and you can tell that there's nothing behind it. I'm talking with my throat now, but this is when I talk with the bass that I've developed. It's insane. Honestly, it's blows my mind. Also, Pac-Man Red Bull. Can we just appreciate that for a second?
I took my first shot at 8 at night, and all my other shots I've taken at 8 in the morning.
I remember when I had a shot schedule. Now it doesn't really matter. I'm lucky if I remember to take it. Or I'm lucky enough if I'm not too lazy to take it. And that's on a busy schedule.
Overnight, I woke up and I had to pee.
I still tell this story and everyone still looks super confused. But it's cool. Anatomy's weird, right?
So I went to the bathroom, and of course I woke up at like 4 a.m., knowing me. I woke up at 4 a.m. and I went to the bathroom and I peed, and I'm half asleep, and I go to wipe, and I'm like, that feels different. And yeah, my sides started to really fill in, and they haven't, like, the dip hasn't gone away yet. This is a lot more, it used to, if I suck in, it kind of looks like it did. My belly button looks weird.
Even if I do this and suck in, it's still,
And the fat redistribution is over the course of a year on testosterone. Like, it really takes that long. My sex drive, or libido, like skyrocketed.
My sex drive has actually plateaued. So it's not as like, oh my god, I have to fuck every 2 hours. It's more like, alright, like, I be getting horny sometimes. That happens to everybody.
So my hunger went way up. I always joke around with my coworkers and say I got the big boy hunger.
I still got big boy hunger. I could still eat every moment of the day. I don't because financial reasons, but if I could, I would always have food. At all times, just always. Snacks on deck, you feel?
All this food that I'm consuming and eating, it's going different places, I've noticed. It's not just going where it used to go before I had testosterone in my system. It's actually going different places, and I'm getting thicker in different places, especially my stomach, like my sides, not my stomach. I'm not getting like a gut, I'm just filling out.
I'm getting a gut now, but I blame beer, not testosterone.
The 29th of November also, I started my menstruation. Now, I knew that was going to happen.
I haven't had another menstruation. I had one on testosterone, and like I said, it only lasted for a couple days, and that was it. It was like a flush of the system, and boom, bam, haven't had one since. No cramping, no mood swings, none of that.
My voice was another thing that has kind of been fluctuating. It hasn't had this extreme, like, crack and like squeaky sound yet that a lot of guys on T talk about in the first couple of months.
My first drop was at 4 months. My name is Vic, and this is my voice 4 months on T.
I know in the first couple of weeks of being on testosterone, my throat was kind of scratchy, almost like I had a sore throat, or like I was recovering from a sore throat, so it was kind of like iffy.
The scratchy part happened occasionally, but it didn't really happen until about 6 months in. My name is Vic, and this is my voice 6 months on T. I got sick, and then 11 months in, I was very mentally sick, depressed, going through a shitty-ass breakup, and my voice was scratchy because I was sick from not eating and using nicotine to substitute for meals. Don't do that. My name is Vic, and this is my voice 11 months on T.
And sometimes when I wake up in the morning, it's hard for me to actually talk because my voice is like still sleeping. Like it's not fully there yet.
In the morning, my voice is Morgan Freeman. So I talked about in the video that my voice was like gone in the morning, like it's not there. Now it's really, really deep.
And there's some moments where when I'm singing, my voice will go in and out. But I can still sing. I haven't lost the ability to sing. So that's good. I was kind of worried about that.
And I can't sing the high range I used to. like I said earlier, but I got that low range down, actually. You should check out some of my vocal covers. I'm promoting myself.
My body hair started filling in on my leg. But my legs are hairy.
See, there's hair. I mean, I wouldn't say like you can tell it's like a faux wrist, but it's definitely, there was nothing and now there's hair. Also here, but I mean, that's...
I have a prominent V that's coming in where my hips, in the front, there's a prominent V shape, which I love.
You can kind of go on my Instagram. Actually, I'll put a picture. There's the V. I thought this would work, but it didn't, so there's the picture.
I used to shave the sides of my face just because, like, everybody was shaving everything, so I was like, I'm gonna shave everything. So I used to shave right here and right here before I learned how to pluck my eyebrows.
I stopped doing my eyebrows a while ago. I used to pluck them to shape them, but I stopped. Now they're like Groucho, I guess. I do still shave in here because if not, I would have a unicycle.
My muscles are more defined. And I've noticed that I'm stronger. Picking up stuff at work that used to kind of make me struggle.
I've gotten even stronger now, but I basically work out 5 days a week at the job I do now versus the one I was doing when I made the video. So like I do a lot more lifting, so I am a lot stronger, but it's because I basically lift 5 days a week. Also, my shoulder and pectoral muscles are way more prominent than they were. Just like all around my arm, especially like in my chest, like I said, pectorals are a lot more stronger now, which is great.
Hair on my upper arms and thighs are coming in way darker by the 16th. I noticed them on the 4th, but by the 16th they had really started like fast.
I've got hair literally everywhere now. All over, back, stomach, chest, upper arms, lower arms, knuckles, fingers, toes, hands, ass, you name it. It's hair there and everywhere and all over. I'd like to thank the Italians. I don't know what that was.
My breast tissue or fat was reducing when I took my binder off. Where did that come from? When I took my binder off, I guess the 16th, I noticed that my chest was a lot, God, I can't think of the word for it. The mass wasn't as mass. It was more like loose. Like my skin was looser and just like deflated, I guess would be a good way to describe it.
My chest has gone down 2 cup sizes, I'm sure. Deflated is still a great way to describe it.
A lot of the time I will try and make my voice deeper, especially when I'm around people I don't know too well, or like customers or people I don't really hang out with all the time except when I see them at work. So I'll try and purpose to make my voice deeper. I really do it around a lot of my guy friends. I don't want anyone to ever see me and be like, yeah, he used to be a female. You know what I mean? Like, I don't ever want that.
I don't do that anymore. I am 100% myself around my friends. That's why they're my friends. I really did used to think before I spoke, think before I sat down, think before I like relaxed and leaned back, thought before I interacted with my male friends. I would process it in my brain a lot more than I would with my female friends. It doesn't make sense. I know it goes against everything I stand for today, but you have to keep in mind, I was raised under the mantra that there is gender roles. Does that mean I still believe that? Absolutely not. Just because you're raised a certain way doesn't mean you have to stick with those beliefs for the rest of your fucking life. The world progresses and changes every day. So stop staying stuck where you were taught. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. I realize now I didn't have to try so fucking hard because literally all the friends that I had back then saw me as male and never really questioned or saw me any different. And that was just the dysphoria talking. It's still there, my dysphoria, but it's calmed down a lot, and I've learned how to control it and cope. So I'd like to thank hormones for that.
My Adam's apple is prominent now. It's sticking out. I don't know if you can see it. I can't really see it. I don't know. But I guess it's like at certain angles you can see it. I don't know. It feels more prominent. I mean, I feel it like right there. Like
Adam's apple is a thing. You can see it from here. But since I turned in the other video, there you go. I mean, yeah. I'll turn this way too. Because I did that in the video. So, there's my Adam's apple. It is definitely there. It is solid. It moves when I speak, you know. Yeah.
now, you're not gonna be able to see it. Oh shit, you can see it. Okay, I've always had a shadow here.
To do a mustache comparison, but you can definitely see it now versus before. I feel like when I back up, you can see it even more.
I am starting to get some acne right there, by the way. I just noticed that. I have something there. But I'm starting to get it around my nose. And I never really had acne growing up. I had like 1 or 2 here and there, but I never had like breakouts.
The main acne I get now is on my shoulders and my mid-back where I sweat under my binder. I also get acne along my hairline. There's one right there. And my jawline, I have one that keeps coming back. Where is it? I think it's this side. It's like in my little beard hair area.
But if I take a picture with the flash on in the dark, you can see it. It's so extra, but it's there.
There's more of a facial hair comparison. I mean, you can't see it at all in that video that I'm comparing this to. So I don't even really need to get close and do it, but there it is. You can actually see it now. The lighting is definitely better in this video anyway, because I've got lighting like on me, but still, even if I had lighting directly on me in that video, you probably wouldn't have been able to see any of my facial hair. I don't take as many of those pictures that I was talking about in the beginning of the flash on as much, but I do still take them, and I'll take them all the way around, and I'll upload them to Instagram. Like, you can go see them. Go follow me on Instagram if you haven't already. I know I've promoted it, but there it is again. Sick Burns. Just go give it a follow because I do post pictures on there pretty frequently and vocal updates. So, yes. Self-promotion is weird.
I've been having these like breakouts around my tattoos. Like there's that one. And there's some up here. Previous burns that I had from work are raising, and scars from me being stupid are raising, and skin like around my tattoos are starting to kind of fade a little bit more than they were, or like raising, or like the texture's kind of weird, and I think that's just my skin changing.
The raising of tattoos and scars hasn't happened anymore. I actually completely forgot about this until I watched this video back. But like, where I showed it was like raised up here or something, I don't know what that was. I don't even think that had anything to do with my tattoos or being on T. I think it might have been like a allergic reaction to something. But my skin has gotten more oily.
My shoulders are a lot broader. My shoulders have broadened out. The muscles I'm talking about are down here. This is a lot more like prominent than before. I mean, these have always been more prominent because of where I work, but like down here has a lot more definition. My armpit hair hasn't really grown much. This is like the length it's always been. So
I'm actually wearing the same shirt in this video that I was wearing in that video for a comparison to see how much tighter it's gotten on my shoulders. And I'm also wearing a new binder. I had to go down a size on my binder. So the binder in that video is a medium, and the binder in this video is a small. Now, it is a bit difficult. This is GC2B. It is a bit difficult to put this one on now just because my shoulders are wide and broad, but my chest is smaller. So when I was wearing the medium size GC2B, it fit better here. It was more comfortable in my shoulders. Now, this compresses a lot more than my other one was. You can see definitely like very flat. But that's just because my chest has gotten smaller. So I have to use the small binder now. But as you can see, my muscles have definitely filled in back here compared to my other video. Especially this one. I mean, my right arm is more prominent. I don't work out at a gym. And a lot of people don't believe me when I tell them that, but I don't work out at a gym. I literally load heavy-ass groceries into cars all day. So, like, I've bulked up for sure from that. But working out is a thing that is important on T. My armpit hair has gotten thicker, too. And spread out. So, there's that.
And I haven't really noticed my face changing much. I've always had a stronger jawline, so that hasn't really changed, I don't think.
Is definitely more prominent.
I don't think my face has gotten wider. I don't think my eyebrows have really gotten that much thicker because I've already had thick eyebrows.
My face is wider. If I clench my jaw, it looks like, I mean, this is, you know, you see that? So, that's gotten a lot more chiseled. It's crazy.
My hairline isn't really different. I've always had a widow's peak. It hasn't thinned out, but I do keep the sides cut, so maybe I just should let them grow out. But I like the sides shaved short.
Hairline is the same. I still cut my hair the same. So that hasn't changed at all. And I'm super glad because I was kind of worried a little bit about my hairline changing.
I knew that with testosterone there would be some things that are kind of iffy. And I'm not saying this in a negative way. Like, I've been able to deal with it just fine. But you don't feel things the same. But now I don't feel emotions like that anymore. They're not very strong. They're just kind of there.
It's not that you don't feel things the same. You just process differently. I wouldn't say that I don't feel anything, because I definitely do feel things. But I don't feel them as intensely. I know, like, before hormones, or, like, when I first started, when I would feel an emotion, I would feel it so, like, in depth. I would feel every part of the emotion, and I would really just let it encompass me, and it would change my whole day. It would ruin my whole fucking vibe, and everything would be off and crazy and different, and I just would overreact. I was extra as fuck, and I'll admit that. I will gladly admit that. But now, it's different. It's like I feel the things I feel. I acknowledge it in my head. I'm like, oh, I'm feeling, let's use sad for an example, because your boy's got depression. So, I'm feeling sad. Okay? In the past, I'd be like, I'm feeling sad. My whole fucking day is ruined. It's over. I want to go home and just, like, curl up in a ball, cry, let it all out. I can't believe I'm sad. Like, fuck, I was having such a good day. Like, I really let the sad, blah, 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 and it's just, like, a word vomit overflowing. Like, oh my god, it's my anxiety freaking the fuck out about being sad. Right? Now it's like, okay, shit, I'm sad. Alright, why am I sad? What am I thinking about that's making me sad? Oh, it's memories of a time when I thought I was happy? Dude, you go through that shit a lot. It's okay to think back about memories that made you happy. And it's okay to kind of miss those things sometimes. But it's not okay to dwell there. It's not okay to be like, I'm sad about this. Feel it, move on. That's what you have to do. You can't be sad about it and just sit there and think about it and wish you could go back to it. Because honestly, man, you've come so fucking far since then. You really have. And you really need to stop letting yourself slip back into those memories, because it's going to do nothing but hurt you all over again. And then, bam, it's like I move on to the next thought and I'm fine. I don't even think about it again until another time. And it's just like every time it comes up, yes, it's going to resurface. Yes, these things are going to happen, because did I live through it? Yeah. Was I happy in the moment? Yes, absolutely. You know, and I don't wish that I could change those memories and make them different, because it's made me who I am. I went through it. But it's just like now I can just acknowledge it and move on, you know? Like, every time it comes back up, I just got to remind myself that I chose to let go and move on with my life. And then I'm right there with moving on. You feel? It's a lot different now. It's a lot more of a process, and I like it.
Since starting testosterone, I haven't been able to cry. I felt the weight. I felt it, but I just couldn't emote. And it's different. I'm not saying it's bad. It's just different. Because I've always been really, like, super connected with my ability to cry.
I still don't cry as easily, but I've definitely cried since being on testosterone. I've had my heart broken. And that hurt, and I cried about it a lot. It was different because it wasn't like uncontrollable, like sobbing, but it was like tears were coming out of my face, and I was like, fuck, this hurts. And, you know, I kind of actually, it was more of a dissociation than it was a, like, really feeling my feelings and crying in the moment. It was like I was dissociated, and I could feel the tears coming down my face, and I could physically, like, see myself sad. But it's like I had dissociated so much where I was just like, my body's going through this weird, like, cleanse, and I'm just gonna let it roll. And I felt the loneliness, and then I went into my depressive state, and then I came back, and now that I've been back, it's been way better. And it's like, why did I dwell for so long in that? But I needed to go through the loss. I needed to go through the let go process and the grieve of losing that connection with that person, because I did have it. I can't deny it wasn't there, but I can accept the fact that it was there, and that was a chapter, but that chapter's over. And there may be references and footnotes to that chapter sometimes when I'm going through something, or I might know what to look for or what to, be cautious of because of that chapter in my life, but that doesn't mean that that's the final chapter of my life. It doesn't have to be that way.
Like, I do kind of bottle up some of my dysphoria and some of the stuff I battle daily in my head. I kind of just keep to myself. I've always done that. That hasn't changed.
I still battle my dysphoria inwardly. Maybe even more so now that I'm single, because I don't have anyone to vent it to, but I only feel like my personal dysphoria struggles have to deal with if I'm going to be intimate with someone. Because most of my dysphoria is bottom dysphoria, about my genitals. That's what I'm mainly concerned about. And, like, my chest a little bit, I really, really want top surgery, but, like, it's not as bad as my lower dysphoria. But nobody's going to see that or go down there unless we're getting intimate. And even then, it's rare. So, or sharing feelings of dysphoria seem like no one's business because it doesn't affect them, and they can't really do anything to alleviate it. Especially if we're not in a relationship. Like, I felt like if I was in a relationship with somebody, then I would probably be more susceptible to share my dysphoria with them so they can know what's up and why I'm so, like, reserved and shut off. But since I'm single, I don't have to worry about disclosing the fact that I'm dysphoric to anybody, and I can deal with my dysphoria when I'm alone, which is what I've been doing since I've been single. So, I mean, I very rarely feel dysphoric, but when I do, it's usually when I'm alone with my thoughts and I don't have anything to distract me or anyone to dump it on. But I wouldn't even dump it on anybody.
Anger. That's one that was like, whoa, chill.
So anger, for me, used to be very, like, okay, picture, like, we're going to do a visual here. You're walking through a minefield with landmines, and you don't know where anything is. You have no heat detector. Odds are, if you just walk through that fucking field, you're gonna step on a landmine and it's gonna fucking explode. And when one landmine explodes in a minefield, they all explode. That was me before hormones. If you were gonna make me angry, who knows what would set Vic off? We'll find out. That's the German in me. Wow, my jokes are terrible. So, now it's more like, you ever played Splinter Cell or any kind of, like, James Bond game or anything? You would know what a turret is, right? It's those guns that are automatic and their motion detector. Okay, so now my anger is like that. There's things that you know, like you know where the turrets are, you can see them, right? And you know not to get in their line of sight. You know to wait, when they're like moving and they're scanning for movement, you know to wait. And then once they're this way, and you're right here and they pass you, you run, right? Or like even the cameras. It's like, oh, and the camera's facing you, obviously you don't run. You don't want to set me off. You know exactly what not to do. But if you do that very thing, I'll tell you right now, the anger is uncontrollable. Now, don't be afraid, don't be scared, and don't think, oh my God, Vic, you lied to us. You said that once you started testosterone, you don't feel anger like the stereotype, and you're lying. No, 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 I'm not. But I can say that if I am frustrated, or if I'm stressed out, or if I'm overthinking, or if I'm in a bad mood, okay? It happens. We're human. I'm not always happy. The fuck? Why are you looking at me like that? If somebody says something that they know is going to piss me off, or does something that they know is going to piss me off, especially when I'm in that state of mind, that's when you've walked in front of a turret. Anger is very different. When you feel it, it's like this white hot ball of light that is trying to escape your body in any way possible, and typically it's through a rapid movement of swinging a fist or yelling. And like I have this vein that will like pop out in my head and another one in my neck, and it's actually on both sides, and people can usually tell when I'm about to pop the fuck off on something. So yeah, I'm very bad at hiding my emotions. Oops.
And it's hard to share those feelings with others because, people will be like, what's wrong? What's going on? You seem different. You seem like you've been distancing yourself. Yeah, that's my coping mechanism. Thank you for noticing.
That's still a coping mechanism, not really for dysphoria now though, but I still do struggle with the whole isolation thing. Trying to work on that, but it's kind of hard when you're single because you really can isolate and cut everyone off if you want to.
But my mentality's been kind of wishy-washy. Also, the time of year, the holidays, are very rough for me just because my family and the way they are about me being trans. It's hard to be around that.
I've definitely learned to stop caring about my family's opinion on my lifestyle, as they call it. All I really focus on is building healthy relationships with them, but also maintaining boundaries and knowing what subjects to avoid. I don't talk to any of my immediate blood family about my transition at all. There's a time and a place for everything. A while ago, I didn't have this concept. I definitely thought everyone was out to get me, and it was shitty that no one supported me. Wah, boo-hoo. But now it's like I've built my support system. I've built my people around me that support me and care about me and love me and accept me for who I am. And I've learned to accept that some people aren't going to accept me. Wow, it's like I've found the loophole, and now I'm A-okay.
This journey has been awesome, and of course I will continuously update everyone on what's going on. Expect the 2-month on T, 3-month on T, expect that interval.
And as you can see, I did not keep up with that schedule on posting monthly update videos. I am so sorry, but you know what? I am so busy, and I'm living my life, and I'm finally doing better for myself, and I'm getting out there, and I'm socializing, and I'm doing things that I never, ever, ever, ever thought I'd be able to do alone. I don't need anybody, and it's great. But I also enjoy the company of my friends, and I don't know where I would be without them. I mean, really, there's people in my life that have stuck around through all my bullshit, through all my phases of trying to figure out what the fuck I want or what I'm doing, and there's people who they support me, or they kind of give me the little I don't know if you should do that, dude, but you know what? I'll be here if you fuck up and you decide you shouldn't have done that. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I've learned who to trust, who not to trust. I'm still trying to figure out some things, obviously. We're all trying to figure things out in this world, but I'm definitely a lot more laid back than I was. I'm definitely a lot more relaxed than I was, and I don't have as much anxiety about pleasing other people or being a certain way for people. I'm really learning how to embrace myself for me and who I am and taking this journey with myself. So anyway, I know this video is super long, but I'm definitely going to edit out some parts and like fix it, and who knows, it might be long as fuck, but we'll see. But thanks for checking it out, and stay tuned, and I will try to post more than I have been, so sorry. Go follow my socials, Instagram and TikTok. Oddly enough, I'm on there and I make content. But yeah, I will catch you in the next video of whatever I do. In the meantime, stay safe, stay healthy, and you got this. You're awesome.